completed notional unit in the last class. So today we are going to see self-indulgence. Okay, I have told you that this is also a very important topic. Okay, emotional EMF we have completed, and only emotional EMF will be the topic for this week. Understood? Whatever we have studied till Monday's session, all the things will be there. Okay, self-inductance, what we are going to see from tomorrow, it will not be included in this week need portion. Understood? So tell all your friends also, all those who have not joined still. Fine. That this week's need portion will be only emotional EMF. This week need portion will be only EMF, emotional EMF. Okay, not complete chapter of EMI. Only emotional EMF will be there. Okay, so okay, this was okay. Fine. This was last week question paper. So now we are going to start new topic, which is self-inductance. So this is a completely new topic. Okay, like in previous session, little bit of induced EMF and induced current you would have studied in class 10th magnetism chapter. But in this, okay, self-inductance, mutual inductance will be there. Everything is new for you. Self-induction or self-inductance, whatever you say, self-induction is the topic. Now, the word itself, if you see, self-induction. Induction means something will be induced. Now, in this chapter, we have already seen what are the things which are inducing. EMF gets induced. Due to EMF, if there is a closed circuit, current gets induced. Okay, and because current is getting induced in the magnetic field gets induced. Okay, so all these things are getting induced here. Now, self-inductance or self-induction means these inductions, okay, these inductions will be happening, okay, these inductions will be happening due to the changes done in the coil. These things will be happening due to the changes happening in the coil itself. Okay, so this is what happens. This is what happens. So with a small example, we will start. Okay, with this small example, we will start this session. Okay, the understanding of self-inductance. Is it okay? Okay, so now see here, suppose if I have a conductor, like this, a straight conductor, this is a straight conductor, okay, and this conductor is connected with the connecting wire. This conductor is connected with the connecting wire like this, like this. So now in this, if I say, suppose there is a variable resistor also, okay, I'm connecting in this. A variable resistor I'm connecting over here, like this. So a constant current will be passing through this. A constant current will pass through this. Understood? Now, out of this straight wire only, if I manufacture or if I make a coil, okay, if I make a coil, so suppose I'm having a coil like this. Okay. I hope all of you have understood how the coil has been made. We had a conductor. Okay. Just see it again. This is a coil. Okay. This is the coil and this is the conductor. This is the conductor. Okay. This is EMF. We are having a variable resistor. What is variable resistor? I hope all of you know. RH. And because EMF or external battery is connected, so a current will be set up in this. So this current will move like this. Okay, this current is moving like this and it will move like this. Then is it fine? Now what is self inductance? Now you tell me that as I change the resistance, as because I'm having a variable resistor, if I change the current, okay, with respect to time, will flux get changed? Try to understand the question what I'm asking to you. As I change the resistance, because I'm having an arrangement with which I can do so, okay, so will there be any effect on the current in the coil? Yes. If I change the resistance, okay, using that variable resistor, will there be a change in the current in the coil? Yes, it will be there. Now, if there is a change in current in the coil, will there be change in the magnetic field of the coil? Yes. If I change the current, okay, will there be a change in the magnetic field of the coil? Due to that current, the magnetic field setup, will there be a change? Yes, there will be a change. If there is a magnetic field change, will there be a change in flux with respect to time? Will there be a change in the flux with respect to time? Yes. Okay. So that only I am going to write now. That only I am going to write. You just see it properly. Okay. So if current increases, okay, from t is equals to 0 to t is equals to t. Okay, if the current increases from t is equals to 0 to t is equals to t, okay. So what I can say, if current increases, this implies magnetic field setup, okay, changes. Magnetic field setup changes with respect to time. Now, if magnetic field setup is changing, I can say magnetic flux, okay, magnetic flux changes with respect to time. This implies d phi by dt is a non-zero value. D phi by dt is a non-zero value. Is it okay? Now, if d phi by dt is a non-zero value, okay, or all these things, okay, or one more question I'm asking you here itself, that if I'm increasing the current, so flux which is changing with respect to time, will it increase, will it decrease, will it remain constant? Now, because it's changing, I have written over here. So how is it changing? Is it decreasing or is it increasing? As I increase the current, the magnetic flux with respect to time changes. So whether it is increasing or whether it is decreasing, yes, whether it is increasing or whether it is decreasing with respect to time, that I want to know. Yes. 1, 2, 3. Only 3 people have written. Okay, fine. So I can say as current increases, this implies phi also increases. So from here what I can say, can I say phi is directly depending on current? Can I say for this case flux is directly depending upon current? Can I say it like that? Can I say it like that, that the flux linked over here directly changes with current? Yes. Okay, fine. I'll remove this proportionality sign and I'll bring a constant. Okay, and that constant is capital L. That constant is capital L, and this is my first equation, and this L is only called as coefficient of self-inductance. This L is only called as coefficient of self-inductance. Coefficient of self-inductance. Okay, of coil. I hope all of you have understood this point. Whatever discussion we have done just now, okay, whatever discussion we have done, I hope all of you have understood. By L we are taking, L is a standard denotation. L is the standard denotation. Okay, L is the standard denotation. So that coefficient of self-inductance is denoted by L. Okay, so phi is equals to L into I. Okay, now L, on what factors this L depends? Okay, what is this actually L? We will see it just now. Okay, we'll see it just now, but wait for a moment. Wait for a moment. Already I have told you that induced EMF, because there is a flux changing with respect to time. Okay, induced EMF, as there is d phi by dt a non-zero value. What will be the value of induced EMF? Can anyone tell me? Yes, what will be induced EMF? Can I write it as d phi by dt? Yes. I'm not interested in minus sign now, because minus sign always we will have to put. Okay, the minus, I'm just interested in magnitude right over here now. Okay, but the minus sign is always there because it's induced, so minus sign is always there. Now what is the value of phi? What is the value of phi? Is it L into I? Yes. L is a constant. L being a constant, I can pull it out and then I can write it as di by dt. I can write it as di by dt. So induced EMF is given as L di by dt. Okay, L di by dt. So the induced EMF will be such that it opposes its own current. Okay, that is what the Lenz's law says here. Did you understand this point up to the second equation? Is there anyone who is having any kind of doubt? Is there anyone who is having any kind of doubt up to equation number 2? Just tell me now itself. So what we have seen over here, that if I'm having a coil, instead of putting minus sign, are you putting the mod? Yeah. Instead of putting minus sign, I'm using mod over there. Okay, just to avoid that minus sign. Here also the minus sign is there. Here also Lenz's law is applicable. Don't worry about that. Okay, the concept of induced current, induced EMF is not changing. Lenz's law is still valid. Okay, Lenz's law is still valid. So what we have studied over here, that there will be a current which is changing, which is increasing with respect to time because I'm changing the resistor. And so there will be a induced EMF. Due to this induced, there will be a change in current, due to which there will be a change in the flux, and this flux changes because of the current. So that's why I can say flux is directly linked with the current here. So flux is directly proportional to current. I remove the proportionality sign, I bring a coefficient over here, so which L is the denotion, okay? That coefficient is denoted by L, and now why it is this L have been chosen, I don't know about that, okay? It's just a value, it's just a notation that we are using. Coefficient of self-inductance of the coil is the name of this L, which is very, very important, okay? Now, if there is a change in flux with respect to time, so I can calculate the induced EMF here. Now, what is induced EMF? It is minus d phi by dt. Now, I am not interested. I'm not willing to write minus. I don't have mine. I don't like now writing minus everywhere. So I'll just use mod over here. Okay, I can do that. I'm allowed to do that if I'm using mod. So d phi by dt in mod I'm taking. Now, you can see over here that phi value is L into I. I have substituted the value of phi. L being a constant, I have pulled it out of the differentiation term, and only current is changing with respect to time. So EMF generated or EMF induced in the coil will be directly proportional to the current changing with respect to time. Is it okay? Did you understand this now? Now, can you tell me what will be the direction of induced EMF? Or what you tell me, the question is for all of you, what is the direction of the induced magnetic field? Induced magnetic field, I'm asking you. What is the direction of induced magnetic field? Forget about current, forget about EMF. I'm asking you the direction of induced EMF here. Can anyone tell me that? Out of the plane. Within the coil, okay. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. Understood? Think a little bit and then reply. It's not that easy. Okay, let us see now. Let us see how it will be happening. If the current is moving clockwise, anti-clockwise, the current over here is moving anti-clockwise. So if I use right hand thumb rule, okay. So due to this current, which is outward current, the current which is external, okay, due to this battery, the magnetic field which is getting set up, will it be like this? Will you have a magnetic field which is getting set up be like this? Correct? Okay. Now, this is external. This is not the induced one. Try to understand. This is not the one which is induced. The one which is induced will be in opposite direction. The one which is induced has to be in opposite direction. So opposite direction means here it becomes cross, here it becomes dot. Now do you understand? Now all of you understood this thing? How to calculate the induced magnetic field direction in this case? Yes. What will be the direction of current? What will be the direction of induced current? Clockwise, anti-clockwise? What will be the direction of induced current? Clockwise, anti-clockwise? Yes. What will be the direction of induced current? Clockwise, anti-clockwise? It will be clockwise. Good. The induced current has to be opposite. Whatever the current direction you are seeing, the induced current will be opposite to that. So it has to be what? Clockwise. Because the external current is anti-clockwise, the induced current has to be opposite of that. That is anti-clockwise. That means it must be opposite to the original EMF. Correct. 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 That is correct. I'm coming to that only. I'm coming to that only. Ganesh, I'm coming to that only. Okay. I'm coming to that only because EMF is little bit hard to visualize here. EMF over here is little bit hard to visualize. So I will help you people how to visualize that thing. Okay, so don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Wait for a few minutes. Then we'll see that. Okay, how EMF you will find out. Okay, how EMF will be found out over here. So up to here, is there any doubt? Up to here, is there any doubt? Please ask. I'm ready to explain self-induction again. I'm ready to explain self-induction again because this is a very important topic. I'm ready to explain this complete thing again, but nobody should sit simply like that. Okay, you want me to only explain the direction? Okay, fine. You just see here, all of you just see here. What is the direction of the external current? What is the direction of external current? All those who are having doubt, just I'm asking to them, what is the direction of external current? Is it clockwise? Is it anti-clockwise? It is denoted. It is marked. Still, I'm not getting the answers from you both. There are 2 students who are asking for that. Yes? Anti-clockwise, correct. Anti-clockwise, found. Now, due to anti-clockwise current, if I use right hand thumb rule, can you tell me what is the direction of magnetic field? What is the direction of magnetic field in this region as well as in this region? Yes. At these 2 points, what is the direction of magnetic field? What will be the direction of magnetic field in these 2 regions? Or these 2 points? See here, if you use right hand thumb rule, so can you see that in this case it is dot coming outward, in this case it is cross going inward. Can you figure it out that? Yes. In one case it is coming towards you within the coil, outside the coil it is going into the plane. Fine. Now the induced magnetic field will be in the same direction or will it oppose this? The induced magnetic field will oppose this or will it support it? What is Lenz's law? The induced magnetic field should oppose it or should support it? It should oppose it. So opposition means what? Opposition means what? That here it should be cross and here it should be dot. That's it. Opposition means what? Opposing the magnetic field. By a magnetic field means what? The magnetic field should be, the induced magnetic field should be in the opposite direction. So inside it will become cross, outside it will become dot. Is it fine? Can I move forward? If you have all understood this topic, this is a very important topic. Again and again I am telling you, this is a very, very important topic. You will see in coming 1 or 2 lectures, you will see how much deep concepts are related to this. That's why I am trying to clear every single point. Okay. No, L will have a value. L will have a value. Deepika, L will have a value. What value it will have, in what case, what value it will attain, that we will take. Okay, it's not a numerical value. It's not a numerical value. Okay, it's not a numerical value. We will calculate it. Just now we are going to, after this, the next is that only. Self-inductance of a solenoid we are going to calculate. Okay. Now, here we had taken only one coil. We had taken only one coil. Now, if I have a number of coil, like a solenoid, like in a solenoid. Okay, if I have a solenoid like this, suppose this is the solenoid, is it fine? This is R, small r. Okay, sorry, that is D actually. I have made R should be from here to here. This is R. Now, what was capital N, if anybody can tell me? L is the length, okay? L is the length. Can anyone tell me what was capital N? While I was deriving, while we had derived magnetic field inside the solenoid, what was N? It was total number of turns. It was total number of turns. Okay, then what is small n? Small n was capital N by total length. Okay, it was capital N by small n, L. So this is number of turns per unit length, per unit length. Is it fine? Now, suppose I current is flowing through it. I current is flowing through it. Okay. Can you tell me, can you remember the value of magnetic field at the center of the solenoid? Okay. Magnetic field value at the center of the coil, mu naught small n into I, or mu naught, okay, capital N L into I. Good. So this is the value. This is the value. So this is, I'm using as equation 1. Okay, I'm calling this as equation 1. Now, see here. In this case, how many coils I had? One coil I was having. Okay, good. Here I'm having capital N number of coils. Okay, fine. Can I find out flux through any one coil in this case? Can I find flux through any one coil, any single coil of the solenoid? So the magnetic flux through any one cross section of the solenoid. So just see what I'm trying to calculate. Magnetic flux, okay, magnetic flux through any one cross section, okay, through any one cross section of solenoid. Is it fine? So let us assume that value to be phi s. Okay, phi s. Now, what is a magnetic field B? What is area A? So what is the value of B now? B value is mu naught N L into I into A. This is the magnetic flux through single coil. This is equation number 2. Now, is it fine? Anybody has any doubt? Anybody has any doubt up to equation 2? If I can find out a single coil, the flux through a single coil, what will be the flux through complete solenoid? So magnetic flux, what I'm trying to calculate, magnetic flux through total solenoid. So for total solenoid, phi total. Okay, I'm only calling it as phi now. What I will write? Will I write as phi s into total number of turns? Because there are n number of turns. Because there are n number of turns, if I multiply that with the single value of flux through a cross section, I can get the flux through complete solenoid. So total flux through the solenoid will be flux through one cross section multiplied by total number of turns. Is it correct? Okay, substitute the value of phi s mu naught nia divided by L into n. So this completely becomes mu naught n square a divided by L into I. This is phi. This is equation number 3 now. Now see this equation. See this equation. See this equation over here. Equation number 3 here. Can you see this equation? Okay, equation number 3 was here. Equation number this. Phi is equals to L into I. Phi is equals to L into I over here. Okay. And phi is equals to something into I. So what is that something over here? What is that something over here? It is nothing but I only. It is nothing but L only. Okay. So L will be is equals to mu naught n square a by L. This is L value. Now I'm expanding this. I'm trying to expand this. Now value of L has been calculated, but still I want to simplify it further. Still I want to simplify it further. What is A? Can I write A as pi r square? Can I write A as pi r square? Area. You just see here. What is A? Area. Okay. A is what? Area, cross-sectional area. So what is area? This is R. This is R over here. So A will be pi r square. Okay. Now, what is the small n? Small n was capital N by L. Okay. I'm having n square over there. I'm having n square over there. So n square I can write as n into L whole square. So I'll just substitute the values now. See here, mu naught n square L square pi r square divided by L. Okay. So L becomes now mu naught n square L. Okay, so pi I should write like this. Mu naught pi, okay, n square L into R. Okay, so L I'm taking here so that I can write R square over here. So just see over here, mu naught pi n square R square L is the value of self-inductance for a solenoid. What is this L? This I'm calling as this all I'm calling as fourth equation. So 4a. Okay, let us do it like that. This is 4a. This is 4. Okay, this should be 4b. And this is 4b. Is it fine? Are you comfortable with the value of L? Yes. Are you all comfortable with the value of L? Now, how to remember this? How to remember this value? It is very easy. If you have figured it out, you just see these three terms. I'll just highlight them. Pi square, R square, L. You just see it. You just see this term pi R square into L. If this is the solenoid, okay, pi R square is the cross-sectional area, L is the length. So is it somewhat related to volume? Is it somewhat related to volume? Yes. Okay. So if you can calculate, or if you can remember it like that, that mu naught n square into volume of the solenoid. Mu naught n square into volume of the solenoid. Okay. That will be easier way to remember the formula for L. That will be easier way to remember the formula of L. Cylinder or solenoid, here I'm talking of solenoid. So I'm just saying it as a solenoid. Okay, is it okay? So here I'm writing few important points. Okay, so you should remember them. So L is, that I've already written, still I'm writing, L is coefficient of self inductance, okay, for a solenoid. In this case we have calculated, so for solenoid, so it is for solenoid. Okay, now this solenoid in electrical circuit, when I add this solenoid in an electrical circuit, so it becomes an inductor. This is called as an inductor. Understood? So now this is the third element, third important element, okay, in electrical circuit. First chapter you studied what? Capacitor. So we added capacitor in the circuit. So third chapter you studied current electricity. So there was resistor. Okay. So in chapter number 3 you had studied what? Capacitor also, and as well as resistor also, both clubbed together and put in the question. Okay, capacitor and resistor till chapter number 3 we have studied. In chapter number 6 in NCERT, one more term has come, which is inductor. Okay, which is inductor. Now about this we will see in next chapter, which is alternating current. About this we will study more in detail, how to solve the circuit which includes all the three. Such circuit we will study in alternating current. Okay, so the symbol in the circuit, the symbol for inductor in the circuit will be like this. Okay, symbol for inductor in the circuit will be like this. So solenoid is also now in electrical circuits called as inductor. Okay, it will be called as inductor, and this is the symbol of it. This is the symbol of inductor. Is it fine? Is there any doubt up to here? Is there any doubt up to here? Now let us see how is this inductor going to behave in an electrical circuit. How this inductor behaves in an electrical circuit. Okay, under what circumstances, how this inductor will behave in an electrical circuit. That is important. Okay, that is important to understand. So next what we are going to see is inductor in an electrical circuit. Inductor in an electrical circuit. Inductor in an electrical circuit. Now see here, suppose if we have this inductor, okay, this is connected with any external source. This is connected with some external source. Okay, I is the current which is trying to flow across this conductor, and it is given to me that I is a constant value. I is a constant value. This is given to me. So case one, what I'm taking is that across inductor a constant current tries to flow. This is point A, this is point B. This is point A, this is point B. Constant current I. Okay, it tries to flow across the conductor. Under that condition, what will happen? So just tell me one thing. if current is constant, okay, if the current is constant, will it change the magnetic field? Magnetic field will be there or not? First tell me that. If a current is constant, will there be a magnetic field set up in the surrounding? Yes or no? If there is a current, constant current in the conductor, will there be a magnetic field set up in the surrounding? Yes or no? Yes, there will be. If constant current is there, will that magnetic field change with the time? The question is, if the current is constant, will that magnetic field change with the time? Yes or no? No, it will not change. So if it is not changing, if magnetic field is not changing, will flux change? Will flux change? If current is constant, magnetic field is constant, will flux change? Will a flux change? No, flux will not change. If flux is also not changing, will there be a EMF induced? Will there be a EMF induced? Will there be a EMF induced? No, EMF will not be induced. And hence, if EMF is not induced, so a inductor, okay, behaves as a normal conductor. So, shall I write all the things or will you understand? Shall I write all the things or will you understand? Shall I write all those things or will you understand by default? Okay. Means you people don't want to write a single thing with yourself. There are 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 7 to 8 people who are saying right to write it. Okay. See it. So constant current is there. So this implies magnetic field. Magnetic field is constant. Magnetic field is constant. If magnetic field is constant, what can I say? Magnetic flux is also constant, If magnetic flux is constant, this implies d phi by dt is what? 0. If d phi by dt is 0, this implies EMF is 0. Okay. This implies EMF is 0. And if EMF is 0, this implies that inductor, this is an induced EMF, mind it. Okay, this is the induced EMF. I'm talking about the induced EMF. So let me write that, otherwise you'll get confused. So this is induced EMF, not a normal EMF, induced EMF. So induced EMF will be 0. Inductor behaves, this implies inductor behaves as a normal conductor, normal conductor. It behaves as a normal conductor. So instead of having a inductor, we could have replaced it with the normal straight wire. We could have replaced this with a normal straight wire. Okay. So in this case, what I could have done, okay, in this case, what we could have done is that this can be replaced. Okay. This could have been replaced by, okay, a normal conductor, like this, and then a circuit. This is A, this would be B, and a constant current tries to flow across it. A constant current tries to flow across it. Constant current tries to flow across it. Then why we are using inductor? Wait, it is when is this case? Constant current. When the current will change, then what will happen? When the current is changing, then what will happen? That is very interesting. And that is conceptual. Okay, when the current will change, that is the important thing. When the current will change, that is the important thing. Okay, then the everything, then the complete story will begin. See here, case 2. Case 2. Directly the current does not get set up from 0 to E by R. Okay, directly a current does not get set up from 0 to E by R practically. It takes a very fraction of second. It takes a very fraction of second to do so. And in AC, which we use in our daily life, okay, the AC current that we use in our daily life, it always increases, decreases, increases, decreases. When did you use constant current? Yes. Where are we using constant current? Wherever we are having a battery, that is a constant current source. But in the case of AC, always it is increasing, decreasing, increasing, decreasing. That's why it is important. See what will happen now. This is the same inductor. This is the point A. This is the point B. And now a current tries to flow across it. Now a current tries to flow across this. Is it okay? Current I tries to flow across it. So this current I increases with respect to time. This is what I have taken now. This is what we have taken. If current increases, okay, if current increases with the time, what is happening? Now I can just explain you the things. I will not be able to write the things for this, okay, because we don't have that much of time. I'll explain it once again tomorrow. I'll just give you a brief idea so that people can think at home. Okay, just try to follow up. If current increases, what happens to the magnetic field? If current increases with respect to time, what happens with the magnetic field? Come on, tell me. If current increases with the magnetic field, what happens with the magnetic current increases with time? What happens to the magnetic field with respect to time? It increases with respect to time. What happens to the flux with respect to time? What happens to the flux with respect to time? What happens to the flux with respect to time? It also gets increased. Okay, good. If the flux increases with respect to time, if the flux gets increased with respect to time, will there be an induced EMF? Will there be an induced EMF? Will there be an induced EMF? Yes, there will be an induced EMF. If there is an induced EMF, will there be an induced current? If there is an induced EMF, will there be an induced current? Yes. Will there be an induced current? Fine. Now, what is the direction of that induced current? What is the direction of the induced current? Your current is coming in this direction. The external current is shown in the black color. What is the direction of induced current? Opposite to it. Opposite to it. See here. The current will come like this. So the induced current from B should come like this. Yes or no? Now, how is it possible? How is this possible? Just I'm drawing two circuits over here. I'm just drawing two circuits over here. You tell me which is the case. Which is the case? I'm drawing two circuits over here. You tell me which is the case. Now, because the current is flowing in this direction, so I have to keep my higher potential of the external battery like this. Now you see the current moves, the induced current is in this direction. Okay. If I make it like this, and if I make it like this, which one is correct? A is correct or B is correct? Which one is correct? Which one is correct? A or B? A is correct or B is correct? A is correct. A is correct because if you take this one, the current is supporting it. See here. If I take this current, okay, if I take this one, so the current is, see, this current will flow like this. This current will flow like this, and this one, the current from this battery is also flowing like this. So it is supporting, na? It's not opposing. See here, in this case, what will happen? The current, the external current is flowing like this, and the induced current will flow like this. Is this opposing? Yes, this is opposing. This is opposing. So in the case of current increasing with respect to time, inductor is behaving as what? It is behaving as a EMF. It is behaving as a EMF. Did you see here? Did you see here? In the case of current increasing, okay, what is this inductor doing? Is it behaving as a EMF or not? Understood? Now, you see here, are these two batteries connected to support each other or oppose each other? Are these two batteries supporting each other or opposing each other? Yes, conductor, this inductor will behave as an imaginary battery. They are supporting each other or they are opposing each other? They are opposing each other. So if this is some 10 volt, if this is suppose some 10 volt, and if this is 2 volt, so the net EMF will be 8 volt. Net EMF will be of 8 volt. Understood? Net EMF will be of 8 volt. So this is the important thing. But don't worry, again I will take this from tomorrow. Okay. I just wanted to give you the feel of what will happen when current increases. Just opposite will happen when the current decreases. Just opposite will happen when the current decreases. Okay. Don't worry, I'll start from here itself. I'll start the second case again. Okay. From tomorrow. Just take the slides. I remember last class also I didn't give you the slides. Okay. So from there only you take. So I guess we started from here. Yes, we started from here. Meanwhile, if anybody is having any doubt, you can ask. Meanwhile, if anybody is having any kind of doubt, you can ask. Meanwhile, if anybody has any kind of doubt, you can ask. Does yes, obviously it will depend upon the inductance. Everything has to do with the inductance. You will see that. How does it happen? And what is the interesting thing about the inductor, that also you will understand. What is terminal? Terminal velocity, I told you, that whenever you drop a stone in the sea, what happens? That once initially what will happen, the ball will go with the acceleration. With certain acceleration, it will go in the sea. But after some time, what will happen? That ball gets a uniform velocity. In the same way here also, in same way in this case also, the magnetic force will increase slowly, okay, as induced current is increasing. So the magnetic force will also increase slowly. And at a particular after particular interval of time, what will happen? This magnetic force becomes equals to the external force. And in that case, the force on the rod becomes, net force on the rod becomes zero. And so this rod will go with the constant velocity. So that constant velocity in this case, we are calling as the terminal velocity. We have discussed it for quite a few period. Okay. In the last lecture, you just visit on the YouTube, you will get it. Okay. So this was about the power, about the last class. I forgot to give you the slide. This is for the today's class. Do it fast. If anybody has doubt, you can ask in between. This is the second page. Self-inductance depends upon what factors? Self-inductance, see, all these things are there. Number of turns on the solenoid, number of turns in the solenoid, okay, the R value of the solenoid and the length of the solenoid. It depends upon L value. It depends upon the with what you say, construction of the solenoid. It depends upon the construction of the solenoid here. Okay, it depends upon the construction of the solenoid. That means according to the formula, there should not be any relation between inductance and current. Correct. Between L and I, there is no relation. Okay. L is purely a property of an inductor, and that's why just be patient. You will get a very interesting thing to note. Okay, I'll come back to this point that inductance is not having any relation with the current, and that is why this inductor is a very beautiful thing. Okay, in an electrical circuit, it's a very beautiful thing. This is the inductor in an electrical circuit. If inductor does not depends on I, then how it will produce? Wait a minute, Nagaraju. I told you, wait for tomorrow. Okay, wait for tomorrow. It is not producing a current. It is inducing a current. It is inducing a current here. It's not producing a current. L does not produces a current. Okay, it induces. Induction is happening. Wait for tomorrow. Wait for tomorrow. All your doubts will be cleared. Wait for tomorrow. All your doubts will be cleared. Okay. So this second case, anyway, I'll be taking tomorrow. So tomorrow you take it. Okay. But try to think about it. Try to think about it, how this will happen. When current increases with respect to time, what will happen? When current decreases with respect to time, what will happen? Okay. And then we will discuss it tomorrow. Okay. Thank you. And one more thing. This week, NEET portion, I have already told you. Okay. It's motional EMF only. Motional EMF only. Understood? There is no inductance and all. only motional EMF, tell motional EMF only. Okay,